what's up guys? So ngayon pag-uusapan natin ng mga differentiation rules. Okay, so if you recall yung definition ng derivative of a function, so if you have a function f of x, then f prime of x, which is the derivative of x, is equal to the limit of f of x plus h minus f of x. This is all over h as h approaches 0. Okay, so itong differential rules, this will help us to shorten the process to find the derivative of a function. So first we have the basic rules. So ito yung basic na mga rules na dapat nyong tandaan. Okay, so first we have the constant rule. So constant rule is, for example, if you have f of x is equal to c. So yung c is a constant. So di ba ang graph niyan is horizontal. So if you have this function, then the derivative of any constant is equal to 0. So the proof is given by in your module, so hindi ko na i-prove to. Okay? So for example, if you have f of x is equal to 8, then its derivative f prime of x is equal to 0. So kahit anong constant, ang derivative ng isang constant ay 0. Kahit 1 million pa yan, 1 million, the derivative of 1 million is equal to 0. Okay, so you have to know that. So that is the first basic rule. The second basic rule is we have the power rule. Okay, so yung power rule guys is yung mga functions na of the form x to the n. Okay? So the power rule states that the derivative of x to the n is equal to n times x to the power of n minus 1. Okay, so in this case, yung exponent nagiging coefficient at saka yung natira lang sa exponent is minus 1. Okay, for example, so hindi ko na din i-prove ito kasi nasa module yun na yung proof. For example, if we derive x to the 10, if you find the derivative of x to the 10, so the derivative of x to the 10 is just equal to yung 10 magiging coefficient na, so 10x to the power of, yung matira lang sa exponent is 9. Kasi 10 minus 1 equals 9. Okay, so again, yung power rule is yung exponent nilagay mo sa coefficient at saka yung matira sa exponent is mag-subtract ka lang ng 1. That is power rule. Okay, so we also have some basic rules in the sum of two functions, difference of two functions, and constant times a function. So the sum and difference of two functions, they have the same rule. Okay, so the derivative of the sum or difference of two functions is equal to the sum or difference of the derivative of those functions. Okay, so I repeat, the derivative of the sum and difference is equal to the sum and difference of the derivative. Okay, for example, and also we have the constant multiple rule. So for example, you have a function f of x multiplied by k. So that the derivative of k times f of x is equal to, so pwede mo lang ipalabas yung k, tsaka kunin mo yung derivative ng f of x. So the derivative of k times f of x is equal to k times the derivative of f of x. Okay, so yun lang yung sum, difference, and constant multiple of rule. Okay, so for example, find the derivative of 3x squared. So apply mo yung constant multiple rule. So all you have to do is to just get the derivative of x squared multiplied by 3. So derivative of 3x squared is equal to 3 times the derivative of x squared. Okay? So, derivative of x squared is yung 2 lagay mo sa coefficient at saka yung matras sa exponent is 2 minus 1 which is equal to 1, or we have x. So, we have 3 times 2x or we have 6x. So, ang derivative ng 3x squared ay 6x squared. Okay, so we also have 2x to the 5 plus 7. So, ano yung derivative ito? So, note that this is a sum of two functions, 2x to the 5 plus 7. Okay, so, all you have to do is to just, derivative ng 2x to the 5 and derivative ng plus derivative of 7. So, alam naman natin yung derivative ng 7 ay 0. So, plus 0 ito. Tsaka itong 2x to the 5, so this is 2 times x to the 5. So, yung 2 pwedeng ipalabas sa derivative. So, yung derivative ng 2x to the 5th is equal to the 2 times the derivative of x to the 5th. So, ang derivative ng x to the 5th, so, yung 5 mapupunta sa coefficient, at saka matras sa exponent is 5 minus 1 equals 4. So, ang derivative ay magiging 2 times 5x to the 4th, or this is equal to 10x to the 4th. Okay? So, 10x to the 4th plus 0 is 10x to the 4th. So, maraming examples sa sa module. So, just practice with those examples. We also have the product rule. Okay, so itong product rule is parang the derivative of the product is equal to, okay, so if you have the product of two functions f of x and g of x, so the derivative of f of x times g of x is equal to the derivative of f times g plus the derivative of g times f. Okay, so ganun lang. Okay, so for example, so yung proof nito is nasa module nyo lang. So just read. Okay, so for example, we have asan example dito? Okay, for example, we have the derivative of x squared plus 2 times 3x cubed minus 5x. So actually, you can treat x squared plus 2 as f and 3x cubed minus 5x as g. Okay, so using product rule, okay, so unin muna natin yung mga derivative ng f at saka derivative ng g. So we let f be equal to x squared plus 2 and g be equal to 3x cubed minus 5x. Meaning, f prime of x, or the derivative of f, is equal to, so using the basic rules, so we have 2x, diba? Yung derivative ng x squared plus 2, kasi derivative ng x squared ay 2x, at saka ang derivative ng 2 ay 0. Yung g of x naman is equal to 3x cubed minus 5x, so ang derivative ng 3x cubed ay 9x squared, at saka ang derivative ng negative 5x ay, so yung x to the 1, yung x is equal to x to the 1, di ba? So yung 1 i-transfer mo sa coefficient, so parang naging 5 times 1 na lang. And then yung matras exponent is 1 minus 1, which is 0. Okay, so x to the 0 is equal to 1, so that's why negative 5 times 1 lang dyan. So the derivative of g of x is equal to 9x squared minus 5. Okay, so since we have values for f prime of x and g prime of x, meaning ang derivative ng product is, ang derivative ng f times g is f prime times g plus g prime times f. Okay, so f prime is equal to 2x times g of x, which is equal to 3x cubed minus 5x, plus g prime of x is equal to 9x squared minus 5 times f of x equals x squared plus 2. So we have this expression. Okay, so simplify. So all you have to do is to just distribute. So 2x times 3x cubed, that is 6x to the fourth, minus 2x times negative 5x, that is negative 10x squared, plus plus 9x squared times x squared, that is 9x to the fourth. This is FOIL method. 9x squared times 2, this is 18x squared. Negative 5 times x squared, this is negative 5x squared, and negative 5 times 2, we have negative 10. Okay, so simplifying, we have 15x to the fourth plus 3x squared minus 10. Okay, so that is the product rule. Okay, so again, the product rule is the derivative of f times g is equal to f prime times g plus g prime times f. We also have quotient rule. So ito parang ang tawag doon, komplikado. Okay, so if we have functions f(x) times g of x, of course, we let g of x not equal to 0 kasi yun yung ilagay natin sa denominator. So the derivative of f over g is equal to derivative of g times derivative of f minus f times derivative of g all over g squared. So meron tayong dyan, parang terminology na yung quotient rule is equal to low d high minus high d low all over low squared. So yung low, yun yung nasa denominator, at saka yung high, yun yung nasa numerator. Again, that is low d high, d high means derivative of high, minus high d low, high times the derivative of low, all over low squared. Okay, low times low. Okay, so i-square mo lang yung denominator sa original expression. Okay? Okay, so for example, we have 5x squared minus 4x plus 3. Okay, so yung high natin is 5x squared, saka yung low natin is 4x plus 3. Okay, so using low d high minus high d low over low squared. So low d high, so low is 4x plus 3, di ba? Derivative of high, that is derivative of 5x squared minus high d low, so high is 5x squared, d low, d is derivative of 4x plus 3 all over 4x plus 3 squared. Okay, so note that yung yung derivative ng 5x squared is 10x. So we have 4x plus 3 times 10x. Okay, minus yung derivative ng 4x plus 3, that is 4 kasi derivative ng 3 is 0. Derivative ng 4x is 4 kasi yung derivative ng x is 1. So 4 na matira. All over 4x plus 3 squared. Okay, so by simplifying, so we distribute 10x to 4x plus 3, so magiging 20x squared, 40x squared plus 30x minus 20x squared. So you can simplify this by subtracting 40x squared minus 20x squared is equal to 20x squared. So yung numerator ay magiging 20x squared plus 30x. Tsaka yung denominator magiging 4x plus 3 squared. So nasa iyo kung expand mo to. So, pero yung advisable is huwag nyo itong para wala na kayong gagawin pa. Okay? So that is the quotient rule. Okay, so question. Kung may question man kayo, just comment it down below and I will answer. So that's it. Okay, so again, itong mga differential rule ay makakatulong sa atin para ma-shorten yung pagkuha natin ng derivative. So, hindi na natin kailangan gamitin yung nasa definition, yung mga limit. So, all you have to do is to use the basic rule or the differential rules.